Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. This is the Geshelli Labs J2S, and these are my Honest Audiophile impressions. I want to thank Geshelli Labs for providing the J2 socketed or J2S for review. To greatly appreciate it. Geshelli Labs, you rock. Alright, so the Geshelli Labs J2S, this is going to set you back at least $260 from your bank account. And in stock form, it will include a AK4493 DAC chip and use Texas Instrument OPA 1656 op amps for the XLR and RCA. But we're talking about Geshelli Labs, and customization is something that always comes with a Geshelli Labs product. And so this is not the stock J2S. With Geshelli Labs, you can choose to have USB, which is an Amanero USB, and that is included in this device. And then you can choose your different DAC chip. You can get the, instead of the stock AK4493, you can get an AK4499, and that is included in this. Another thing that you can change out are op amps. So the J2S can use various op amps like the Sparkos SS3602 and the Burson V7s, either the Vivids or the Classics, and the Burson V5i. It can use those as well. This does have the stock Texas Instrument OPA 1656 op amps. So with using the USB option, you can get up to 32384 DSD 512. Of course, with your SPDIF, it's going to be 24-bit 216. The J2S, very well built, just like all Geshelli products. You have this hard aluminum case, very well built. You can customize it pretty much in any color that you want. Just for example, you can get something like this if you really ask nicely. So anyways, the shell is customizable. Face plates, you can get different plexiglass colors, and you can get everything from orange to green and anything in between, including clear. So you can see all those internals on the front and the back. You can also get a wood case if you want. So the J2S, very customizable, very well built, and you have these little these little rubber feet that are going to hold it in place, and it's not going to move around. And as you can see, it's not really that big. I can hold it in my hand. It's pretty much the width of my hand. The J2S stacks very well with other Geshelli products, and it looks good as well. There you go, with the original J2. The J2S is pretty much set up like all the other Geshelli products that you're accustomed to. You have your power button, and then clicking the button after it's turned on is going to cycle through all the different lights. There's a little LED in there. It's going to change all your internals. And then you have an input selector, and it'll flash here on these little LED lights to show you which option is chosen. And then if you press and hold that, it's going to cycle through the different output levels for your XLR and RCA, or XLR, excuse me. And then you have on the other side here, you have optical and coax input. And then on the back side, you have your USB input and another another optical and coax. And then you have outputs of RCA and XLR and a 12-volt DC power supply input. very well laid out. I had no issues with having all of the different inputs and outputs with cables on, and the J2S sat on the desk. No problems, didn't wobble around or move at all. It's very sturdy, and there's plenty of room for them all to be connected. Do keep note that the outputs all work at the same time simultaneously. The J2S was tested on various amplifiers, everything from the Mytek HPA, the Drop 1 Linear, the Drop SMSL HO150X, Tor Audio Roger X Duo TA26S, the Aune S17 Pro, and various other amplifiers. And I found that the sound of the J2S is, with the AK4499 DAC chip and the Texas Instrument OPA 1656 op amps, sounded very clean, very clear, and it has a very refined and defined focused type of sound presentation. The bass has nice punch and slam, especially in the mid bass and upper bass regions. There's nice punch, nice kick, nice slap, nice punch, whatever words you want to use that means good bass. It has that. Sub bass, you get some rumble and grumble, and overall the bass stays very well controlled, even on very complex tracks. I had no issues with distortions or anything of the sort. Very well controlled type of bass, and very engaging and very punchy and slammy, and I really enjoyed the bass of the J2S. Tonality wise was very good, very accurate and nice and natural, and then detail retrieval was very good for its price point, and it also resolved very well. The mids of the J2S have a nice bit of clarity, good air, nice space, and the tonality is very natural and accurate, sounding, reproducing instruments and vocalists in a very lifelike type of reproduction. They're very cohesive and very balanced, and do not try to crowd out or be in the spotlight compared to the bass. Even though the mids have a spotlight on them, the bass has a spotlight on them also, and they just play very well together and stay very focused and very refined, and nice details, very good resolution as well. Overall, the mids reproduce in a very accurate and true way to the track. And then going into the treble extends nicely. There's good crispness, nice little bite and edge to things. And just like the bass and the mids, there's a little bit of a spotlight on them, but it's not trying to be the focus compared to the others. They all kind of play together very cohesively and very balanced. The abilities to have energy and sparkle are there. But yet at the same time they're controlled, and they never really go into fatigue mode. It's not a very forthright presentation, but yet at the same time it's a very distinct in its presentation. In the treble, stays well controlled, has nice tone and timbre, very natural and accurate. So the bass, the mids, and the treble play very well together, very cohesive, very balanced, and at the same time you have spotlights in all three areas, the bass, the mids, and the treble, without trying to crowd each other out and compete for the attention. They all play together just very nicely and smoothly. Soundstage of the J2 socketed has a good representation of venue sizes: small, medium, large, even gets a little bit on the grand size. You get this nice reproduction of venues, and you can hear the differences in all of them. And then it has nice depth and really good layering. I was rather impressed at the abilities that it has to give each instrument its own little place and to play together, but yet at the same time still sound cohesive and balanced. And you have the abilities to lock onto an instrument and follow it through a track and go, it's right there, it's right there. Things are moving around. Imaging is very good and very, very nice. It locks on and go boop. You can follow it from side to side. And the detail retrieval and resolution of the J2S is also very good, especially for its price point. I had no issues whatsoever with, oh man, where's my details? It has plenty of detail. And I'm not searching for anything. In fact, at times I did hear some things going, wow, I don't normally hear that, or wow, I don't know if I've ever heard that before. I was exploring new things every now and then. And for the most part, it was just a very good, detailed DAC with resolution that is nicely refined, defined, and focused. And there's no glassiness, no harshness, no smearing, none of those words that you don't want to hear when describing the resolution. And then tone and timbre is it has a nice natural reproduction of things. If I had one critique about the J2S, it is that at times it can sound a little bit thin in the mids. Overall, it is a little bit more airy and a little bit lighter in note weight, but the mids at times can be just a little bit too thin. And I wish that there was just a little bit more body and it sounded a little bit more natural sounding. Overall, though, the tonality and the tone and timbre is very natural and accurate. There's no artificial sounding instruments or anything like that unless it's in the track. So overall, the Geshelli Labs J2S, I'm rather impressed by it, and the abilities to customize it are quite plentiful. Unfortunately, I haven't had the time to be able to change out different op amps, but I am planning to do a video or write-up on that at some point in the future. I do not know when that's going to happen, but I do plan on putting in some Sparkos and maybe some Bursons and things like that. We'll see what all the op amps that we can get in, and tell you guys about the differences that I hear with the J2 4499. As far as how does it sound compared to the regular J2, I believe it's been 3 years. I believe this has the 9026 DAC chip in it, and it is an upgrade. You do have better details, you'd have better resolution, a little bit more accurate natural tone and timbre, and a little bit better in its imaging, placement, depth, and layering. One thing that stood out with this one that wasn't really something that I cared for as much was that it was a little bit on the thin side and didn't sound quite as natural. That has been fixed with the 4499. This DAC chip does have a more naturalism, a little bit more note weight. Even though I do wish that this one had a little bit more note weight to it, it is an improvement over this one. So the Geshelli Labs J2S or J2 socketed, all kinds of customization from the outside appearance to the inside internals. And yes, it is expensive, coming in at $480 with the USB and a $44.99 DAC chip, and it'll go up in price if you add in different op amps and things like that. And I totally understand that. But if you are into changing things, tweaking things, and getting it to be, you know, a particular type of sound, this might be for you. And it might be the only thing you need, because you can change out your op amps and get different sound signatures. Do be looking for my video or write-up sometime in the future, who knows when, of different op amps for the 4499, and maybe it's for you. And have fun. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on screen, subscription links, notification bells. If you haven't already, please check those off. Don't forget to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the video. Check out all the links down below. There's all kinds of information down there regarding how you can contact channel, follow channel, support the channel. All that kind of stuff is listed down below. Speaking of supporting the channel, I want to thank my supporters through Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank you for everything that you provide to the channel. It's much appreciated. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there's various ways that you can do it. One-time gifts with PayPal, Venmo, or YouTube, and then also monthly subscriptions through Patreon and YouTube memberships, where you can get early access to videos and other types of benefits, like access to my private Discord server and all kinds of other things that randomly pop up. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, I greatly appreciate it. Check out the links down below. And then there's all kinds of other information, gear recommendations, music recommendations, and all kinds of other things listed down below. So check out those links down below. And lastly, don't forget to enjoy the music and that honesty is the best policy.